Y'all hear me? Got that fan going, baby. Oh yeah. Feel good. I'm flowing today, people. Winging it. So I'm going to be speaking about something from the Gospel of John, chapter 8, verses 1 through 11. You can read it on your own. Does that sound rude? Read it yourself. Have me doing all the work? No, but you can read it on your own. So Jesus, all right? Won't take too much time, but Jesus is truly a superstar, right? I mean, I can imagine, like, if Jesus were a traveling act, and like you had to buy tickets to see Jesus, that everybody would want to see Jesus, because you never know what's going to happen. Sometimes Jesus is teaching lessons that are inspiring people, and he's teaching lessons that are transforming people's lives. Yep. Other times, Jesus is duking it out with the religious and political leaders of the times. Sometimes Jesus is healing a few people. Sometimes he's healing everybody. Sometimes Jesus is multiplying loaves of fish and bread. Loaves of fish. Fish and bread, though, you get what I'm saying. Sometimes he's doing that. Sometimes Jesus is whipping people out of the temple. You know, it's crazy. Other times Jesus is off alone praying. Sometimes Jesus is walking, dancing on water. You know, other times Jesus is spitting in the dirt, making mud, putting it on people's face and allowing blind eyes to see. Sometimes Jesus is rebuking demonic spirits. You just never know what you're going to get with Jesus. Never know. What a show, right? You're going to get a show, though. And so Jesus had drawn a crowd. And Jesus was getting ready to teach. People have gathered to see what and hear what's going to go on with Jesus. All right. They bought them tickets in advance. So they are ready. And Jesus begins to teach when all of a sudden the Pharisees come in. If you don't know who the Pharisees are, they are the kind of the religious political leaders I was talking about earlier. And they're kind of like, if you were to take like your local political figure, local community leader, your local pastor, with like the stench of Tucker Carlson, right? That would be the Pharisees. So just imagine a bunch of Tucker Carlsons walking in, and what they do while Jesus is trying to teach. Now, he's trying to teach. They come on in uninvited, and they plop down a woman and said, this woman's been caught in the act of adultery. Again, Jesus is trying to teach. All of a sudden, now he's looking at this woman who allegedly has been caught in this act of adultery. There's not really any proof. I don't think they needed any proof back then. Just the Pharisees said that you did something, you did it. And so they're just doing this to trap Jesus. This isn't even, if I say to most Christians, we're going to talk about the woman caught in the act of adultery, they all know what I'm talking about, if you've been reading your Bible, right? But it's not even really about the woman. They're using her caught in the act of adultery to trap Jesus. Because if Jesus, under the law of Moses, it said that this woman was caught in the act of adultery, we can stone her to death. And they're like, what do you say, Jesus? What do you say, Jesus? Right? Because if Jesus goes along with it, says, yeah, sure, stone her. I'll join in. We're all stoner. It'll be fun. If Jesus says that, and this kind of goes against his brand, right? But if he says, don't do that, then he's going against the law of Moses. So they think they got him. Like, what do you say, Jesus? So Jesus was teaching, and now I'm imagining Jesus was preparing this sermon for a while. And now y'all wrecked it by just throwing this woman at his feet. You know, the crowd's wondering, what are they going to do? They got their popcorn. What's Jesus going to do, right? But Jesus does something crazy. And he just gets on the ground, and he starts drawing in the dirt. And the scripture doesn't say exactly what he's drawing in the dirt. We don't know. I don't know if he's doing math, if he's drawing a picture, doing stick figures, he's playing tic-tac-toe with himself. I don't know. But he starts drawing in the dirt, totally ignoring the Pharisees, which is kind of rude, right? They asked the man a question. He starts drawing in the dirt. Imagine if I asked you a question, a serious question, right? I think it's serious. That's this woman's life. It's holding in the balance. and all you do is start doodling, rude. So Jesus is doing this long enough, as the scripture says, as you'll read. They get kind of impatient with Jesus and say, Jesus, what's going on? So eventually, he stops doodling. Imagine what's going on with the woman, too. I mean, she was dragged. I don't know if they allowed her to get fully clothed or what's going on. She's dragged out of this act. I don't know where the man who was also in the act of adultery went, but she's dragged out. It's been a long day for her. Now she's wondering, she's out here with the Jesus show, wondering what's going to happen, what Jesus is going to say. And Jesus is just doodling, building up all this suspense. Finally, Jesus says, oh, y'all still here? Okay. Well, those of you without sin, you can be the first to throw the stone. Then he goes back to doodling again. And so they're like, dang, he flipped this on us. What are we going to do now? That daggone Jesus, man. You know what? I'm stoning her. And it's like, whoa, I know you ain't going to try to stone her. Everyone's stopping the people trying to stone each other. Like, it's, I know you're not going to try to stone her because we all know what you've been doing. All right? We won't say nothing, but we know what you've been doing. And someone else tries to stone her, but whoa, I know you ain't going to try to stone her. All right? So that's probably going on. They're thinking in their heads, well, I did do this last weekend. I did do that just an hour ago. I was sinning just 5 minutes ago. You know what I'm saying? So there's all kinds of stuff going through their heads. And one by one, they start leaving. Until only Jesus and the lady are left. Now, I don't know what happened to the crowd. I don't know if the crowd got up to try to stone her as well, or they got bored with Jesus on the ground doodling, or if they kind of backed up because they didn't want to get hit by any stones. They didn't know what was going to go on. If a stone fight was going to break out. So maybe they're just kind of hiding, still trying to see, eating some popcorn and see what Jesus is going to do. So Jesus is doodling, and the woman is there. And Jesus gets up and he says, woman, where have your accusers gone? Has no one condemned you? And she was like, no. And then he says, neither do I condemn you. Go and leave your life of sin. Who are we in this story? Now, a lot of us would like to think, maybe we're the woman. Perhaps you're thinking, I know where he's going. We're the people trying to stone her. The answer is yes, right? We're both, right? Remember, this story isn't really even about the woman. It's more about the hearts of the people who want to stone this woman. And the reason why they want to stone her is because their own agenda to trap Jesus, because they want to hold on to their power. It has nothing to do with the woman. Man, Jesus had his own lesson plan, right? We didn't even get to know what that lesson was going to be. That could be some mind-blowing stuff interrupted by this nonsense. So who are we? In our culture today, we want to kind of say, all right, I know where you're going with this. We should be forgiving. We should give people second chances. We should show mercy. We should show grace. Yes. Of course. And you should know that already without me telling you that. You know this. Problem is, we'll go, but, right? We should show mercy, but you don't know what this person did. That's what we'll say. You don't know. You don't know what I had to go through. You don't know what they said. You don't know the impact that they had. No, they deserve this, right? We'll say forgiveness. I know I should, but. Grace. I know I should, but. And that's what we'll do. But if we were that woman, what would we want to be done to us? Right? In this moment, this woman is shown grace and mercy. She's shown understanding. And that's exactly what we would want, would we not? I see some of these people caught up in social media, where social media is coming down hard on them. They are caught. They're caught in the crosshairs there. And I'm not excusing, most of the times I'm not excusing what they did or said. But I look at it, man, we're coming down so hard though. Like we don't know when to stop, We're like beating the person down until you can't recognize them anymore. We're just beating them to a bloody pulp and we still want to punch them. We still have that bloodlust. And why? Why do we want it? What do we hope to gain? I don't have an answer to that question, people, but you do. You can think for yourself. Why do you get caught up in the angry mob? What are you looking for? You say, well, I want justice. For what? For whom? Like, what are you going to gain? Even if they were to apologize, would you accept their apology? People, I'm not here to answer. I'm here so you can ask those questions to yourself and answer them yourself, because you're the only one who can answer that question. We know they deserve mercy, grace, and understanding as Christians. As Christians, this is what we believe. Now, if you notice, Jesus didn't condone the sin. He said, go sin no more, right? And that's always a fear in some people's minds. Will we be too merciful, then what will they do with it? Well, stop it. God doesn't do that with us. God does not like, well, I want to forgive them, but I don't want them to go crazy and think they can just keep sinning. You know what I'm saying? God doesn't do that with us. And he's our example. So what are we doing? Again, church, I just want you to think about it. Why get caught up in the angry mob? I'm not saying that you shouldn't get caught up in the angry mob even though I would tell you that you shouldn't. That's not the point that I'm making here. I just want you to ask yourself those questions. What's your motivation in the angry mob? If you were put in that position and Jesus were to say that, would you stone the woman? Would you think about stoning the woman? Would that even cross your mind? What kind of things would be going through your mind? If you were that woman, what would be going through your mind? Would you believe that you deserve, grace, mercy? All things that we should think about there, people. So I'm going to play this song. Again, I'm flowing. So flowing a little bit. All right. It's up for us to think about, how God shows us love and forgiveness. And that's the same type of love, forgiveness, grace that we're supposed to show others. That's how we reach people with the gospel. That's how we show people the gospel. Showing people the love that God has shown us. All right? I'm not saying get soft on sin or nothing. But just ask yourself the question about why you're in the angry mob, people. Meditate on God's love that he's shown you. Yeah? I'm forgiven because you were forsaken. I'm accepted. You were condemned. And I'm alive and well. Your spirit is within me because you died and rose again. Amazing love, how can it be that you, my King, would die for me? Amazing love, I know it's true, and it's my joy to honor you in all I do. I honor you. Amen.